the debate surrounding the Rosebank Oilfield, a massive new North Sea project, has ignited a fierce political and legal battle in the UK. Lobbying efforts from the oil and gas industry are intense, with representatives arguing that their sector's unique circumstances warrant differential treatment compared to other industries. Their core argument hinges on the unavoidable reality that the end product oil and gas inherently generates emissions during its consumption, a factor they claim unfairly burdens their industry. The government finds itself deeply divided, with internal disagreements echoing the broader public debate. Some cabinet members champion the project, emphasizing its potential to stimulate economic growth and bolster national energy security. Others, however, express grave concerns about the project's compatibility with the UK's ambitious net-zero emissions target by 2050. This division underscores the significant challenge of balancing economic objectives with environmental sustainability. The current political impasse is further complicated by the Labour Party's pre-election manifesto pledge to halt new North Sea oil and gas licensing. The Rosebank project, along with several others, had already secured licenses under the previous administration and were awaiting final approval when the Labour government assumed power. This pre-existing situation creates a complex legal and political quagmire, forcing the current government to navigate a path between fulfilling its manifesto commitments and managing the consequences of already granted licenses. Adding another layer of complexity is a recent court ruling that declared the license granted to Rosebank unlawful due to its failure to adequately account for the project's life cycle emissions. This legal setback places the government under immense pressure to rectify the situation and establish a clearer legal framework for future licensing decisions. The government's response to the Supreme Court ruling last year, which mandates that oil and gas companies account for Scope 3 emissions, those generated from the combustion of extracted fossil fuels, adds further fuel to the fire. Energy Secretary Ed Miliband now faces the monumental task of determining how companies will comply with this landmark decision. The implications are far-reaching, potentially reshaping the industry's operating model and influencing future. The debate is not simply about the Rosebank project. It's a pivotal moment in the UK's energy transition, testing the government's commitment to its net-zero goals and its ability to balance economic interests with environmental responsibility. Critics argue that the oil and gas industry's pleas for leniency are disingenuous, portraying a sector that prioritizes profit maximization over environmental stewardship. The industry's immense financial resources, spent annually on extraction and production, could instead be channeled into a swift and equitable transition to renewable energy sources, critics contend. The current situation, they argue, reveals a troubling willingness to manipulate regulations and evade accountability, allowing the continued emission of climate-damaging pollutants. The industry's response to concerns about carbon emissions is, according to critics, not a genuine attempt at mitigation, but a calculated effort to maintain the status quo, clinging to outdated business models rather than embracing the necessary shift towards a sustainable future. The ongoing debate therefore serves as a critical test of the UK's commitment to its climate goals and its willingness to hold powerful industries accountable for their environmental impact. The outcome will not only determine the fate of the Rosebank project, but also significantly shape the nation's energy future and its contribution to global climate action. The stakes are undeniably high, demanding a response that balances economic realities with urgent environmental concerns.